Good morning, girls. How are you doing this morning, huh? Hey, girls. Hey, Bingo. Hey, Bluey. Hi. Oh, dear. It's a frosty morning there, sweetie. Aw, how are my little flooper-eared girls? I know, you're southerners. You're not used to this northern cold. I think our low was 34 degrees Fahrenheit last night. These poor girls trying to make sense of it all. Like, you might have seen a little bit of frost down in South Carolina, but you're gonna really have to get used to the cold that we've got here, girls. Welcome back to the farm, everybody. It is a nice, chilly, crisp fall morning here on the farm. It's been about 2 days since I got back to the farm from my big road trip, and I figured you guys were due for some updates. Hi, large white farm dogs. How are you doing, guys? How's it going? Hi, Abby. Hi, Toby dog. Somebody want to go visit with the goats? Abby, you want to come? Toby, you want to go? Okay, Toby, you can go. Toby's probably not even going to want to visit with the girls. Generally speaking, he prefers to just come out to mark his territory, so we'll give him a minute to do that. Was your job done, guy? Do you want to visit with the girls? If you want, you can visit with the girls. Just don't spook them. Well, if you want to go mark their territory to keep them safe, that's totally cool. Yeah, see, Toby is very focused on putting scents down. So you can see he's like coming through here, just marking a protective barrier for the goats. He visited with them for the first time the other day. He's gotten to know them a little bit. The girls are kind of used to having large white farm dogs. My friend Jess, who gave me those two goats, she actually has a livestock guardian dog by the name of Gabe. And so over the last few months, she's been having him spend a lot of time with the girls, which I think was a good combination because as you could see, they weren't really freaked out. Now let's try to see how our goat boss does. Abby dog, come, your turn to visit with the goats. Hey, whoa, 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 tranquila. Tranquila. Yeah, overall, Bluey and Bingo have settled in really well, other than having to get used to the cold mornings. This is only a temporary shelter too, just in case anybody's wondering. I'm probably gonna give them another day or two before I introduce them to the boys. And then they'll be able to move into the proper goat barn that I built earlier this summer. And so they'll be living with the boys over there. But I've just been wanting to monitor their health, and this morning, and you guys get to watch me do this, I'll be giving them a deworming treatment, as well as I'm gonna be giving the boys a deworming treatment. Once all of that happens, they will be introduced to them in the next probably 2 or 3 days. I'm just giving them a little time to acclimate. I feel like they've done a really good job acclimating to me. Bluey is looking really, really good. I'm a little worried about Bingo. You know, Jess and I were actually swapping text messages. She's fine. There's no real problems. She just seems like she might have gotten a little dehydrated on the truck trip. Even though they had water, you know, especially as I was editing that video, I noticed she wasn't drinking a lot. And so that's my theory, at least. But I could be totally wrong about that one. Meanwhile, Abby is, I think, trying to cosplay as a goat. She's like over here eating grasses suddenly. What are you doing there, Abs? You think you're a goat? Yeah? What do you think of the new goats? I mean, I think they're pretty darn adorable. I think most of the people in the comments think they're adorable too. But yeah, before they get filled up on eating those weeds, let's actually get them the dewormer. Okay, Bingo, we're gonna start with you. I know, hang on, hang on. Bluey, you're gonna come in here too. Get both you in here. Nope, stay inside, stay inside. Don't go out. You each are gonna have to eat one of these buckets. And you seem pretty hungry, so I'm hoping you just eat them right away. So one of the toughest parts about raising goats is the fact that they are very susceptible to parasites, and particularly because you gotta keep them oftentimes in one space, they can be vulnerable there. And so deworming goats is actually an important step. And so as much as I'd love to be perfectly organic with these girls and not have to do chemical intervention, given that I'm a newbie goat keeper, particularly a Nubian goat keeper, making sure that they can have the medical support that they need so that they don't get sick, and particularly with the stresses of the travel, as well as coming to a new farm, doing a course like this is not a bad thing for them, just to get them healthy and acclimated to here. And so that's why they're getting this special breakfast this morning. You gotta eat your bucket. I know, usually you like to share, but I need you guys to eat your respective buckets because this is all metered out by weight, and I wanna make sure you get the proper dosage. You know, I gotta admit, having these two here makes me feel a lot like Bandit. Hey, eat yours, and you eat yours. Bluey, stop trying to eat Bingos. Like, if you don't get the full dosage, it actually can make your parasite problem much, much worse. Here, not that you have parasites, but I wanna make sure you don't get them. All right, you two keep working on that When I come back, I want to see those buckets empty, okay? Now I also have to do the same type of treatment with the boys. They get more, obviously, because they weigh more. And I have their doses ready to go. But I'm trying to think who to get first. I guess I'll let whoever comes out first. Hey, one thing you guys might notice too, there's now a board along the bottom of my gate. And that's because when I went on the road trip to go pick up the girls, I had my farm sitter and she was coming here a couple times a day to just take care of the animals, do the basic chores, make sure everybody was doing okay, all that good stuff. And every time she'd come here, she would lock the goats up and make sure they were locked up very securely, their fence was on, that they were inside their yard. But both Telemachus and Barnachus kept escaping. And if you don't know, so Telemachus is that guy right there. Barnachus is his twin brother right here. And so when I came back, I kind of watched them a little bit to see how they were escaping. And so both Barnachus and Telemachus, they would like commando crawl underneath the gate. And so that was the problem. I hung the gate kind of high. And the reason for that is actually because of the winter. So obviously this time of year, it's way too much space, but come like January or February with enough snow and ice buildup, it's gonna be hard to open the gate. And so my thinking had been to try to give just a little bit of extra space to make it easier to open the gate in the dead of winter, but alas, that plan was foiled. I think this board is my compromise. I'm gonna see if I can get away with just using this board, and if that works, then I'll maybe take it off in the winter, or might even just leave it in place in the winter. But I'm hoping it keeps these boys contained. All right, who wants to get dewormed first? Barnachus, you're looking at me like you might be the guy to go for it. I'm gonna do this one at a time, so let's see who comes out first. Oh, it might be Lauren. I think it's gonna be Lauren. Oh no, Telemachus sneaks his way through. Nope, the other boys are like, wait, we wanted to come out. Sorry, kids. Telemachus, here you go. Trying to see if I can get his beard. Telemachus is not letting me cut his beard, and it's getting fuller and fuller with burdock. And every time I try to cut it, he pulls away. I'm sorry, Telemachus. I had to do that. Here, you wanna eat? I can see Barnachus is jealous already. So is Lauren. He's like, I want that food. But Telemachus's pride has been stung. He's really mad at me. He did not like having his beard cut. I'm sorry, guy. Here, why don't you have that? I'm gonna leave you alone. See if I'm gonna have any more luck with Barnachus or Lauren. All right, who's next? No, not Abby. Abby, you stay there. Lauren, you want to come out? No, not Abby. Lauren. There we go. Good boy. Hey, Lauren. That's for you, Lauren. Telemachus, don't get jealous. Hey. Telemachus, back away from that. Here, this is for you. Kelly, that's for you. Not that one. That's Lauren. That's Lauren's food. That's Telemachus's food. Since Barnachus is now separated. Come here, Barney. This one's for you. You get a dose of your own. Look. See? Yeah, nums. You guys, what are you doing? Telemachus, you got your own source of the stuff. I think I made a mistake in trying to cut Telemachus's beard because he's all upset now. I'm sorry, Telemachus. I know I hurt your feelings. I did not mean to do that, guy. Yeah, you're just peeing in my general direction now? Is that what you're doing? Here, try this. There we go. Chickens, get out of there. Hey. Chickens, you're a pain in the butt. There is way more chaos in this situation than I would have liked. I feel like Lauren is the only one appropriately eating his portion. The other two boys are just mired in chaos. Barnachus kind of ate most of his, but then the chickens came and got the scraps of it. And Telemachus, I don't know what to do about him. By my careful watching here, I would say that Barnachus and Telemachus each got like a half dose, and so I'll probably try to give them another half dose later today in the next couple of hours. I think there's like a 6-hour window that they need to be fed it in, so I gotta just watch for that. How are you girls doing? Did you finish yours? You almost did. All right, I'm gonna have you just keep going, and then we'll go do a little tour around the farm together. But first, I've got to do the cow chores. But first, I need to say hi to Ginny Barncat. Hi. Good to see you this morning. Oh, who's my sweetheart? Yes, you were my sweetheart. Yeah. Now I'm ready to do cow chores. So we continue to monitor our grass situation here on the farm. And quite honestly, it's not great. You know, one of the downsides to my little road trip down to South Carolina was, you know, typically when I leave the cattle with my farm sitter, I try not to like make the chores too complicated for her. And I also really try to, you know, give the cattle extra grass, because the last thing I want is for them to try to escape while she's taking care of them. And the more grass they have, the less likely they are to try to escape. That's just a general rule of thumb. But when I give them extra grass like that, what that does is it basically makes me use the pasture less efficiently. And so I definitely ran through this portion of the pasture faster than I would like. And most of that's attributable to the extra space. These girls are ready to move this morning. But speaking of moving, so these two, so you've got Astrid and her daughter, Alice B. Toklas, as well as the other white cow back there, Amelia Bedelia. They're all gonna be leaving the farm pretty soon. Now that I'm back from my trip, I'm actually working with my friend who's buying them to set the date. Betty White and Buffy the Vampire Slayer are also being sold. Elvis, who somehow snuck to the other side of the fence overnight with all the other calves, he actually is gonna be staying here. So he will spend his entire life here on the farm, but he will be separated from his mom pretty darn soon. But really all of the calves at this point are ready to be weaned. I usually do the weaning as part of the process of separating everybody and bringing them down for winter. And so all that typically will happen for the other calves starting in the next couple of weeks, but Elvis might get weaned just a few weeks early just because I won't have his mom on the farm still. Hey cows, come on cows, fresh grass, come on. Let's go girls, come on. Hey cows, come on cows, fresh grass, come on girls, come on. Let's go, let's go. Come on. Yep, 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 yep. Come. Yep, yep. How's it going, Anna Green Gables? Hey, Joey Ramone. Hey, Sly. Looks like you got a milk mustache there, kid. How's it going, Meatloaf? What you up to, buddy? You trying to break my fence post? Please don't. Yeah, if you leave the fence posts unattended and with no wire on it, the calves will try to break them. Actually, the moms will try to break them too. Elvis is getting a last bit of milk from his mom. Probably only another week or two before that milk train runs out, so get it while you can. I forgot to bring the treats up with me this morning, but I have been trying to work with the calves and get them socialized to me, and then pretty soon actually start their brush training just to get them nice and friendly. Boop. I'm gonna boop you on the booper snoot. Okay, boop you one more time? No, you're a little nervous? Okay. Maybe Curly Sue wants to come say hi. Maybe? Maybe Curly Sue? No? Meatloaf's not quite as friendly as everybody else is one of the observations I have had. Curly Sue, Sly, Buttercup is probably the friendliest. Cindy Lauper's over there. They're generally pretty good, but Buttercup is definitely the friendliest. Here she is butting heads with Meatloaf. So in the name of full farm transparency, I do feel like I need to talk about one thing related to the cattle. I talk so much about how having the cattle up here on pasture is so like relaxing and peaceful, and it's kind of like my happy place, and that remains to be true. But there is one aspect of the cattle that stresses me out like nobody's business. And that's actually when I have to do sorting, handling, vet medical stuff, like all of those things. I don't know, it's just kind of stressful because even though I've gotten pretty good at working with these guys and moving them to where I want them to move, it is dangerous. They could easily kill me if I'm not careful. And sometimes things go wrong, particularly when you're trying to like separate some calves from their moms or some bulls and steers from the rest of the ladies. As I get towards this time of year, I get a little wistful just because I'm not gonna be up here regularly moving them. I think the other aspect of it all is it's also like an anxiety that exists. And it's one of the things that I think having cattle is sort of a two-sided coin and it's difficult to think about it, but it is true. And I feel like as I show all of the good and how wonderful it is to be out here, it's also important to at least discuss with you guys some of the bad and some of the things that do tend to stress me out just a little bit. Hey, Buttercup, wanna coming back for more? I got all the pets in the world for you, girl. All the pets in the world. Also, speaking of that stressed out feeling, another animal that's gonna be going pretty soon is Joey Ramone. I have run into a little bit of a problem in that I haven't been able to find a USDA inspected processor who will now take him. I had a date booked up and I thought that they took Scottish Highland cattle, but unfortunately, because of the width of his horns, they won't take him now. Because what happens is it causes problems with their chute and like getting the animals loaded because the width can make it harder. And admittedly, I've experienced that just working with the animals down here. And so I had this whole plan that in late October, he was gonna actually go off to freezer camp, but I think it's gonna be a little bit longer now And I'm trying to work out the details on that, which is also very anxiety producing. Oh yeah, Mean Gene. Oh yeah, Mean Gene. Yeah, as you look down there with the rotoscope, as I'm eating my grasses, say, what's going on? Yeah. Yeah. That's the Macho Man, Randy Savage right there. Oh yeah. All right, let's check in with our Bluey and our Bingo. Did you guys eat your medicine? Hold on, let's see. I gotta check. You did. You ate all your medicines. Good job, you guys. I'm really proud of you both. Oh, now you want to nibble my finger. You think it's like a teat or something? No, it's just my finger. Well, guess what, girls? As a reward, I'm gonna let you come outside. And you can munch on any of the pasture nibblings that you see here, except don't go into Allison's garden, please. And stay out of the woods, please. Don't go in the woods, that's dangerous. While we're doing this, it might be fun to have you experience the GoPro for the first time. The other goats like to wear it. You guys are a little small, but I think you should be okay with it. Let's go get it set up. They have these collars that I like to put on them while they're out. Yeah, let me just get your collars on first. Hang on. Be okay. Don't worry, I'm gonna make sure there's plenty of space. And now I can strap the GoPro to the collar. Let's do a GoPro. You girls are so precious, you know that? So I'm gonna keep going on my morning chores and keep an eye out for them. But let's see what sort of adventures they get up to with the GoPro. The reality is it's probably just gonna be a lot of weed eating. Uh-oh. I hear baby goats crying. What's the matter there, Bluey? I gotta say, Jess's kids, who really spent a lot of time with these two goats over the last several months, they did a phenomenal job of making them just very, very friendly and welcoming to human touch and all that good stuff. And so I think they're gonna make phenomenal milking animals eventually. They still have a bit more growing to do, but that won't be long. And that's the plan with them. I think one thing I'm starting to worry about though, and I noticed this yesterday as I was watching them drink water, is their floopy ears end up getting dunked in their water trough a lot. So I gotta figure out a drinking system for them, because like this time of year, that really doesn't matter. But in January, that could be a problem. And so, I don't know, I gotta find out what other Nubian goat owners do around here to keep their goats' ears from freezing off. Toby Dog and Abby Dog have been taking a very supervisory role as the goats have been wandering around here this morning. You know, I've been wandering around, just doing various like farm chores and stuff, but they've been keeping an eye on both of them. Not in a way like they think they're a threat, but like a semi-concerned babysitter vibe. Especially Abby, she just keeps following them around. You might notice a lot of chickens wandering around here. That's because all the chickens I hatched earlier this year are pretty much just out free ranging and doing their thing. So I think it's gonna be actually next weekend is when we're gonna be doing our big bird butcher. But yeah, actually the next big thing I'm gonna be getting ready for is like once a year, I get a couple friends, they help me out, and that's when all the birds get processed. And we're gonna be doing a pretty sizable number this year. And so this coming week on the farm is gonna be a very busy one. And now I know there's folks who really want me to show something like that in a video, but I won't, because I guess a couple of reasons. Number one, some folks really just don't wanna see it, and I respect that and totally understand. I think number two, YouTube is not exactly friendly to it either, and so could get my channel in trouble, and so I just have no plans on doing it. I haven't shown anything like that on a video in years and years at this point, just simply because of those reasons. You know, a couple days ago when I was in South Carolina, I was like out, we were like at the lake, riding jet skis and inner tubes, and it was like a lot of fun. But I come back here and yeah, I think the low last night, I was just looking at my official readout, was 33 degrees. The high today should be about 65. And the sun's out, and so it feels really nice right now, but winter's definitely coming. I feel like I even came back and the trees progressed even more, where we're not quite at peak foliage, but we're also pretty darn close to peak foliage. Like on a regular basis right now, I'm hearing the Canada geese fly over the farm, and pretty majestic to like hear them honking and watch them flying. I don't know. It's definitely one of those signs of fall. So yes, my friends, winter is coming. And with winter, there's gonna be actually something very exciting coming too that I wanna show you. So as you guys know, I have a new book coming out. It's called Dirt Rich Living. It's all about the story of me leaving the city life and coming out here to the farm, and really tries to tell the story of doing that, as well as all the lessons learned, as well as, I don't know, just try to be fun and entertaining and carry some of the same vibe that you guys get from these videos. And if you pre-order the book right now, what you're gonna get is actually a special set of bonuses. I have this like little special pre-order club. The pre-order bonus for September was this photo album that includes a whole crazy number of photos that I didn't include in the actual book. And so everybody who ordered the book in September is actually able to get that, and you should have gotten it by now in an email. And if you didn't pre-order it and you want the photo book, I'm sorry, you're out of luck, because the photo book is only available for the people who ordered it in September. But all the people who ordered it in September are also gonna get the October pre-order bonus, which is this special little comic zine that I've made that's all about how to make good videos on the internet. It's basically my guide to how I make videos, and I made a little bunch of drawings here. I did these are not AI, I drew these myself. And it's basically just telling how I think about planning out videos and how to tell a good story. Like, it even goes down to like how to shoot the video and how to edit, and like how I think about storytelling. And even I go into like the books that I think you should read if you want to become better at making videos, and the gear that I use as of this past summer. And so yes, this is available now as the October pre-order bonus. And the way the pre-order club works is, if you order in September, you get the September, October, November, December, January bonuses. If you order in October, you get the October, November, December, January bonuses. But if you don't pre-order the book before November 1st, you won't be able to get this very special little booklet. So keep that in mind. I'll leave a link down below. And as always, I appreciate you guys so much for doing this and for all the love and support you've shown over the years. And I genuinely believe in this book. Like, I feel like this is like one of the better things I've ever made, and I'm really proud of it. And I want to try to share it with as many people as possible. And so I really hope you read the book and enjoy it this winter. But even before you get the book, you're going to get these pre-order bonuses. So go check out the link down below. Now, with that out of the way, I'm actually kind of curious to see what Bluey and Bingo have been up to. So let's check it out.
Oh, you just want some lovin's? Oh, okay.
Hey girls, what you been up to? Eating some of the weeds around the cattle yard for winter? Yeah? Are you having fun? Has this been enjoyable? You know, Bluey, you're doing a really good job. Oh, now you're peeing. But you're doing a really good job of being a camera goat. I think you've got a very bright future in this. And don't worry, Bingo, I'll give you an opportunity too next time. Aren't they adorable? They just make me so happy. If you guys missed how they ended up on the farm, I'll leave a link to that video down below here, as well as another video of when they were actually born. I'll leave it over there. And thanks for watching, everybody. I'm gonna go bliss out with my goats some more.